Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on May the 4th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. Okay, so as usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So coming up on May 4th, we have some trade balance numbers, both for the US and Canada. So these numbers are important, but right now with the COVID situation, there's really the trade between different countries has been impacted. So we'll see how the numbers come up. If they are below expectations, that would be negative for both Canadian dollar and the US dollar here. And then factory orders for the month here, if the factory orders are positive, that's a good thing because that would mean that retail sales, the expectations are higher. So that's good. And then we have a Reserve Bank of New Zealand financial stability report. So we'll keep an eye on the New Zealand dollar there, as well as employment numbers here. So New Zealand has fared better than some of the other countries in terms of the coronavirus. So with the whole COVID situation, because of the lockdowns that they put in place early on. So with this one here, if the employment situation it's stable, then that will be a positive thing for New Zealand. And we also have Reserve Bank of New Zealand Governor Orr speaking. So this is where we have to watch out here because of, again, the commentary. Any kind of any sort of comments that would talk about tightening the monetary policy will have a negative impact on the stock market, but positive impact on the New Zealand dollar. So watch out for that. All right, so let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off with the euro dollar. So euro here, euro dropped. And we have seen a pullback here. So it's into an interesting level. We may see a further move to the downside. However, it can also pull back slightly higher towards 1.2100. So at this point, we can either just get a continuation here or a slight pullback higher into 1.2100 and then a further move to the downside. So basically, I'm not bullish, even though the candle close is bullish here. I'm not that bullish on euro. This is just a pullback, in my opinion, for a further move to the downside. But watch out for both of these levels, 1.2075 as well as 1.2100. So right now, neutral bias here because I'm looking for a readjustment to the downside here. So neutral bias for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one as well, still trading in this range here. So at this point, we do have a bullish candle close for today. However, this is not quite bullish yet. So this is neutral as well. It may go higher towards 1.3970. So that's definitely something to watch out. But overall, price is still trading in a range here. So I'm looking for price to basically stay within this range. So neutral bias here for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here, same thing. We had a big move to the downside on Friday. And today that move has reversed. So with this one here, we may see a move like this, or it could go into slightly higher into 0.7815. At this point, this one is also stuck in a range. Still prices in a range. So neutral bias, I'm looking for price to basically stay within the range, not looking for any sort of breakout yet. So neutral bias for Aussie dollar as well. And levels would be 0.7815 and 0.7685. New Zealand dollar, this one as well, not looking that strong, neutral bias here as well. So basically, I am looking for a drop here off of 7220. So as long as price holds below 7220, I am looking for a further move to the downside here. I'm considering today's movements pullbacks as opposed to a direction change. So as long as it stays below 0.7220, I'm looking for a move back towards 0.7140. So neutral bias for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, this one is still looking bearish. It's holding below 1.2320, and as long as it continues to do this here, I'm looking for a further drop here. And for some reason, if let's say the US dollar comes in strong tomorrow, and it breaks the 1.2320 mark, then I'd be looking for a move higher. But until then, still looking for a continuation here. First target is 1.2240 and 1.2150 will be the second target. So bearish bias for dollar CAD. All right, let's take a look at our commodity, starting off with silver. Quite a move to the upside. Finally, price has broken through that resistance here. So in this case, I would be looking for a pullback and a retest of the support level at 26.57. If it holds, we're looking for a continuation higher towards 27.25. So bias is bullish here for silver, looking for a pullback and a continuation. Gold here as well. Gold is right into resistance. So this one we have to wait for a break before the continuation move, because last time as well, price was into resistance right here, and then it turned around and went back into the range. So we have to watch out for this neutral bias for this one. Once it crosses over though, once it goes through this resistance at 1795, then it becomes bullish, and next target would be 1817. But we have to wait right into this resistance because it could turn around just like it did previously. So something to be mindful about here. Oil here, oil is looking strong. Looks like it wants to move higher. It is still in a bit of a range as well. For the last several days, it hasn't broken out. So right now, looking for a move towards 65.50. And this is where the test will be. Can it go through or not? So right now, bias is neutral to bullish for oil. Copper here, copper back into the range still, and we do have a bullish candle close. So I'm looking for price to go into 4.52, and this is where again the test would be, can it go through or not? So right now looking for a range bound move within, or looking for a bit of a move higher within this range bound move. So neutral bias for copper as well. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin did go higher into 59,000, but we have a bearish pin bar here. So I'm basically looking for price to come back down. Bias is bearish, 52,500 is the target. So bearish bias here for Bitcoin. S&P 500, this is still stuck in a bit of a narrow range here. At this point, market is just stalling right now, doesn't have clear direction. So I am looking for a drop back towards 4170. And if it continues, or if it manages to go through this support at 4170, then I'm looking for a continuation move towards 4120. So for now, bias is neutral to slightly bearish. Nasdaq looks more bearish than S&P 500 did. So we have a nice bearish candle close for this one. It is still trading in a range. So I'm just looking for price to go towards bottom of the range here towards 13,700. So neutral to bearish bias for Nasdaq. Dow Jones here, this one is into resistance here, still trading in the range. We do have a bullish candle close, but again, we had a bullish candle close at the top there as well. Right now, bias is still neutral, because if it doesn't break through the high of 34,260, we could see a move back. So right now, neutral bias. Once it goes through the high, then it becomes bullish, and we will look for a follow through move higher. But until then, bias is neutral. DAX here, DAX does have a bullish candle close here. So looking for a move towards 15,350 right into the top here, but price has failed at this level many times before, so we have to be careful because we could see a turnaround there. So watch out for that. Right now, slightly neutral to slightly bullish bias. Target is 15,350. And then FTSE here, FTSE not looking that strong. We see twice in a row price has rejected this level, which means we could see another drop here. So bias is neutral to slightly bearish here for FTSE. So it looks like things are all over the place right now. For Nikkei here, this is still stuck in a very, very narrow range. Today's candle close looks very neutral. We may go, or we may see a move all the way into the top of that range, but it is still range bound. So doesn't have any clear direction at this point. So I would say at this point, target is 29,300. And then if it fails, we're looking for a move back towards 28,760. So right now, neutral bias here for Nikkei as well. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.